think I see Mr. Blue over here trying to ram. Is that Gustavo Fring? Check out how large Cheese Ball has grown here. Cheese Ball is a literal fat ball of cheese. Look at the dude. But yeah, his name is Cheese Ball now, and we got Wienerton over here. Wienerton is losing his mustache slowly but surely, and of course our wonderful little Oreo. Look at that perfectly circular poop. That poop is just a perfect little spiral. Who do you think laid that beautiful, perfect poop? Probably Rocky. Today we're in the fish basement. I am still beardless on day 4 of regrowing it back, and we're doing maintenance and water changes, so let's get to it. All right, the first tank we're gonna drain here is the pet store goldfish tank. So let's get the pump in there. And of course, you gotta secure the pump down. If you don't secure the pump down and it kind of like starts rising up in the water, that's a very good opportunity for a goldfish to swim against the pump, and then you get a problem like Mr. Lobotomy. Also, look at this tank over here. It looks pretty cloudy, and I think I also see some breeding action going on. I think I see Mr. Blue over here trying to ram. Is that Gustavo Fring? You can see he's trying to mate with him. So let's check for eggs. Whoa! Oh, there are a little bit of eggs. Just like a couple. You see that? Just a couple little eggs. Now here's the reason why the water is so cloudy. This is why the water is so cloudy. Jeez, buddy. Jeez, buddy. This guy's full. This guy's absolutely full. All right, we gotta change the water in this tank. I have so many of these things lying around. They're just like so helpful to have this side attached on here and the other end of the hose side attached on a dumping tub. So let's attach this thing right here. There we go. This here is my dumping tub, and all my water change water gets dumped into this tub. And then after this tub reaches a certain height, it just automatically pumps out to my front lawn. I am also going to be changing this baby tank over here. It's looking just a little bit green. So let's get this pump here and let's plug her in. So I just realized that I plugged that pump in before even putting it into the dumping tub. So it was straight up just pouring all over the ground here. I cannot tell you how many times I've made that mistake. Oh, I hope that one day I'll be able to never make this mistake again. But it's like every single time. When you're dealing with tanks, you're bound to spill. When you're dealing with tanks, you are bound to spill some water. Well, my phone just fell, and this was attached to it, and I completely destroyed the receiver. This is not good. Lucky for me, I still have my old phone, which would use the other end of the receiver, so I can continue to use my mic for the rest of this vlog. Let's get back to it. All right, now we're changing the water on some of the tanks with the Jiggly codes. So these are the children of Jigglypuff and Codeman, and as you can see, they are some of the fastest swimming little ranchos you've ever seen. It's like nearly impossible to try to catch one of these guys. I don't know why. Come here. Come here. Come here. Aye! I got him. But yeah, these are some of the children of Jigglypuff and Codeman. So I have some of them in this tank. I have some of them in this tank. And then I'm also changing the water on this tank where I have another one of them. And check out all the goldfish teeth down there from the previous goldfish in this tub. That is a lot of goldfish teeth. Let's see if I can catch another one of these guys. But yeah, look at this guy. Look at this little Jiggly code right here. You think he's going to have a nice big fat one? We'll just have to see. After yesterday's feeding, the turtle tank got absolutely murky and disgusting, so I got to do a big water change on this one. I'm considering actually just taking this whole thing down and putting a tub here, like another 100-gallon tub, and having that be the new turtle enclosure. So check out how beautiful Tubby Toby's tank is. Captain Tuna here is just growing massively and is beautiful. Stacy there is doing good. That's Betsy, my bad, Betsy. Stacy Jr. is doing good. And of course our nugget, Tubby Toby. He's just a nugget. While I'm down here doing maintenance, something I try to be sure of is that I do not sit down. There is absolutely no reason to sit down while I'm filling up a tank or I'm draining a tank because there's always frickin' work to do. There's always a little bit of algae that I could scrub off the glass. There's always gonna be a filter that needs some filter maintenance. There's always gonna be peas or something that I could feed the goldfish. There is never, ever a reason to sit down in between water changes. There's always more things you can do. Man, this thing got messed up. This one does not work so well on the 120 glass because the 120 glass is thicker. So it's harder for it to, have that good connection. So it's harder for it to have that good connection than on a thinner tank, like a 75-gallon tank where the glass is just not quite as thick. Get out of the way. All the fish always come over here. The very last tank we'll be doing a water change on today is the 120 here with our orandas, because these guys are just massive, massive poopers. Why don't we just do a little more cleanup, shall we? Let's just do a little more cleanup because I spilled so much water. It was like 10 seconds that I didn't realize. Just 10 seconds that I didn't realize, and because of that, this whole place got soaked. All right, our baby tanks here are completely empty, and now the fish are a lot easier to catch. Wow, look at this dude. Is this a dude? I don't know, actually. I don't know, they're kind of small. But yeah, so now the tank is completely drained. Now what we do is we open up this valve. We're going to go over here, and we're going to open up this valve too. Come on. Okay. And then we also got to go over here, and we got to open up this valve and open up this valve. This is basically allowing water to flow into those two ports there. And we're going to go to this one, and we're going to open that valve, and there's no pump right there. And we're going to go to this one, and we're going to open up this valve. And now we plug in those two pumps, and it's going to send the water to fill up these two. All right, we got tanks filling up now, and while they're filling up, I wanted to just show you the snapping turtles real quick. So these are the two baby snapping turtles. And as you can see, they haven't grown a crazy amount, but they have grown for sure. So this one, I'm pretty sure this is Bowser. And the other guy over there we have not named yet. So I'm going to have a YouTube live video pretty soon where we're going to name those guys, or we're going to name him. But this is Bowser over here. Look at Bowser. He's just a baby monster. He's just a baby monster Bowser. Look at him. But yeah, his friend over there, we're going to name him on the YouTube live stream. Also, guys, we got Goldie pellets now available on my website. So, and these things are like, they're very high in protein, very high in fat. You do not need a lot to feed your fish. Like honestly, like for these 75-gallon tanks here, I just take one little scoop like that, and that's enough for a single feeding for these three fish here. It'll take them a few minutes, because these are big pellets. These are really big pellets. It'll take them a few minutes to get all these pellets down. I got power sticks available too. I do feed those to my guys as well, but the main base feed that I'm feeding them are these Goldie pellets, because they actually they're higher calorie than the power sticks, but the power sticks got a lot more nutrients. Hey Oreo Wienerton, cheese ball, you guys hungry? You guys hungry for some pellets? They'll come rushing over. There he is. There's the wiener. Here comes Oreo. He's like, oh man. And we'll give some to Tubby Toby over here. It's always hard to find a spot where to put this because I don't want to put it in the filters, but I don't want it to just like, bro. So I gotta like push these down. Oh, there we go. Tubby Toby, what are you eating? You didn't even get a single pellet. Also, how did I forget about our guppy tank? We have this guppy tank here of those guppies that I bought from the pet store that I was, supposed to feed my snapping turtles, but they never ate them. And now they're multiplying like crazy. Let's try to count how many. I bought 6 initially. All right, I bought 6 guppies initially, And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's definitely more. There's definitely a ton more. And there's babies in here too. Like you see those little babies? Let's give it to this guy. Hey, you want a super worm? You want a super worm? You want a soup? Ah, there we go. There we go, Stubborn. Eat him. There you go. Just look how many goldfish teeth are at the bottom of this tank. This is just crazy. Look at how many goldfish teeth are at the bottom of this tank. So this is crazy. I got to add these to my collection. I really got to add all these teeth to my collection. Also, the adult goldfish are doing great. Millie Bobby Goldfish, the second here, keeps on getting a thicker and thicker forehead. Like, look at the thickness of that one. And also, Jigglypuff, so I will need to be doing a wen trimming. Oh, my gosh. I will need to be doing a wen trimming on Jigglypuff just because that wen has overgrown a lot on that eye. So we need to definitely bring that growth a little bit down just so she can see a little better. On this eye, maybe a little bit too. Maybe a little bit on that eye too, but definitely on this eye over here. Something I like to do when the salvinia in here just grows like too thick in density is I just take a bunch of this off here and I give it to these guys. And these guys eat it. These guys, Mr. Lobotomy, he's growing his brain back by eating these greens. Look at Mr. Lobotomy. Look at him. So he's just growing his brain back by eating those greens. So I just take a bunch of it right here and give it to them, and it's gone pretty soon. All right, so all the tanks have been filled up with exception, look at them all eating. Look at them all eating. With exception to those two tanks right there, which we are filling up right now with these two tubs. And then we're already filling the aged water up in these 3 tubs. The aged water comes straight from the well. So we're gonna fill these 3 tubs up, and while we're filling those up, we're draining these 2, and then after these are drained, of course, they gotta be filled back up. All right, so we're filling up our very last tank over there, and we got 3 tubs completely filled with aged, wait a minute. I gotta close the valve on this one. All right, when these things get full, I gotta make sure to close the valve or else they overflow and then I have to clean the water up again. So we're just about wrapped up down here. I'm also gonna show you what's going on in the garage because we do have some baby glass belly guppies in the guppy tub. We are now in the second fish basement, the garage basement. So let me show you guys what's going on here. So we have our goldfish that we're raising in green water, and just check these guys out. So I remember I got these as little tiny baby goldfish from Luminous Goldfish, but these are not babies anymore. These are not freaking babies anymore. These guys are really big. So they're growing a lot. The colors are coming in really wonderfully, and I'm feeding them a lot too. So this green water is 1, keeping the water clean, and 2, you know, it's acting as a food source. So I'm feeding them Goldie pellets. I'm feeding them a ton of these things. But in addition to that, they're eating that algae. So they have like multiple food sources. Just pull up. There we go. All right, we got some of these guys here. Look at the colors that are forming on these guys. The bellies on them. They're just growing so quick. Let's feed them. So I basically just go and I grab a solid handful like that. And that's about all I'll throw in there. Maybe that was a little bit too much. So then I'll do the same thing. I'll grab like a good little handful like that, and I'll throw it in there, and that'll be plenty for all the fish in there. So look at the guppy tub. So I am happy to announce that our glass-bellied guppies over here, they did have some babies. And if you look very closely, you can see 3 of them right there. You see that? 1, 2, 3. Now I've counted as many times as I could. I think I've counted a total of 7. I believe there are 7 total babies in this tank, but it's hard to find them all the time. Oh, there's another one. You guys see that little guy right there? So that's another baby right there. But yeah, there are 4 adults. They're these 2 males and 2 females. You can see that You can see that poor female is probably getting assaulted by those 2 males right now. But yeah, they had their first little birth, and you can see there's a lot of algae in this tank, because that algae, those strands of algae, they're almost acting as like, you know, that's the live plants. Those are the plants in this tank. I don't think there's enough nutrients in the water, honestly, to allow the salvinia to grow very well. The salvinia's been kind of dying off, unfortunately. So as the bioload increases, though, I think the salvinia might grow a little better. But right now, I think the algae is taking up all the extra nutrients, and I don't think it's leaving enough for the salvinia. Look at this little baby here. Look at this little baby. This little baby skittle glass belly guppy. So these guys, like, I bought them for $80 a pair. So if they start producing a lot, we could have a good moneymaker right here. All right, guys, that is all for today's vlog. Thanks so much for watching. And, yeah, I'll catch you next time. Luke Scoldies, out. Oh, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. I forgot to say that.